What's up, guys? Matt here, coming at you with another quick video. This one, you guys know, a while back I picked up the Losi Nightcrawler, and I'm sure a lot of people were like, why did he get that? But I like trying different things, and nobody around here really ran these much. And yes, this is the Nightcrawler. Looks a little different now. Much better in my opinion. But my whole idea was I just wanted to try something different in that mid price range. So you guys know, if you watch the channel, regularly, I got the Ridge Rock for dirt cheap and was really impressed with it. I'm going to do an update on it soon. This is kind of a mid-range. It's a $299 new. So I wanted to check it out and just kind of do a little bit on this truck. So I wanted to show you what I've did to it. You can see, obviously, changed the wheels and tires and the body. Did this body up super quick one day. Did the little wood bed in it with some popsicle sticks. I kind of broke one of them loose the other day. And then just magnetized this little toolbox in the back. The body is just straight up for a beater. And just to get rid of the other Nightcrawler body. I wasn't a huge fan of that. I like the rock lights. They still work. I put some high clearance links on it. So these are the Club 5 high clearance links for the axial Capra. I have those on my Capra, and so I measured them, looked like they would fit, and they did. I just did the bottoms. I didn't even bother doing the tops because I liked the lightweight of the plastic on the top here. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do the bottoms. It didn't change anything too bad as far as rolling the axles down. Kept the drive shaft angle pretty good. It's very close at full droop with these shocks, so you wouldn't want to go much longer shock really, but to the drive shaft coming out there. But this thing has a lot of runtime on it now since the link swap, and I haven't had an issue with the drive shaft coming out. So these are, like I said, the Club 5. They are they're the longer wheelbase. I'm not sure exactly how much they add to the Capra, but they are longer than stock Capra links. They lengthen it just a bit. So, but they fit perfect on here. So I put those on, gave it a little bit more clearance instead of those big bulky links it had before. Still running the stock motor and ESC. With the worm gears, it's super smooth. No point in changing it as far as smoothness goes. The only question people have been wondering here lately is if we could get more power out of this thing. With the worm gears, I'm not sure how that would go. But we may try to get a little more power out of it eventually. I do run 3S on it. Stock servo was garbage. Tossed it. This is the stock one out of my Bully, and it does decent on this truck. I'm probably going to go ahead and put the Amazon special on there and change that up. And that's basically all I've changed on this truck. Running weight in these wheels up front and the deep woods. So I'm going to put some run clips in here. We'll talk a little bit about this. Oh, these are the stock Capra shocks, I believe. I just put them on there because the ones that came on it were leaking and kind of like cheap. So I did swap the shocks. These are probably not what I'm going to leave on here. They were just what I had in hand. So let's take a look at some of the running this thing's doing. So any of you guys that have watched the any of my videos at the No-Limb Dam, you'll know that some of these lines are really tough even for our modded out Capras. There's a few people that's picked up some Capras and they're kind of working on getting them dialed in right now, and even just stock Capras really can't even make it up this. So the fact that this thing with just a tiny bit of work is able to make this climb right here is pretty amazing. Nothing looks steep on video, but this is a very steep little hill. And then you got the offset with the big hole between the rocks there that you kind of got to keep your wheel out of to make this crawl. And this Losi really did it fairly easy. You know, had to try it like a couple times. I think I rolled down the hill a couple times, but that's usually the case even with the Capras. You know, I've kind of got the line dialed in with my Capra, so I don't struggle with it too much anymore, but still a really tough climb. So one thing you will kind of notice is with the worm gears, this truck's a little louder than normal, but it's very smooth because of those worm gears. This has, you know, the stock electronics in it, which are usually not that smooth in any RTR vehicle, but combined with the worm gears, this thing has a slow crawl. It's almost as good as my Fusion, and that's no joke. Super smooth, controllable because of the worm gears. Now that kind of limits your power that you can transfer, you know, and your speed, your max punch and speed that you can get. Kind of similar to what we deal with the SCX 24. You know, a lot of people want to take those and make them really, really fast, and you can, but it's just kind of hard with the worm gears. So that's the only downfall to this truck, honestly. If it wasn't for that, this would be a top contender, honestly. It performs amazing, and even with the worm gears kind of holding it back on some of those areas where you just got to launch up a rock or something, it doesn't have a hard time hanging with the pack at all. It actually outperforms a lot of the pack in most cases. So the fact that the top speed kind of holds it back a little, honestly, is not a big issue because it makes up for it in other areas. The articulation is insane with this truck, and it just holds its line very, very well. So this little spot here doesn't look like anything on video, but it's actually on a very steep hill, and then you're trying to make this turn side hilling, and you've got the hole there that your wheel can easily fall into and roll you down the hill in a second. This is a very hard spot for any truck, and even my Bully has trouble here. My Capra, you know, you just got to hit it just right, and the balance of this truck is really, really good. You can see it made it fairly easy. And I'm only running weights in the front of this truck. So weights in the front wheels, and that's it. No other weights, no other brass, nothing. So I show this climb here quite often, and the reason is it's one of my favorites. And honestly, only a select few of the trucks usually make this hill. It's just very odd and hard, and unless you know the exact line to hit and just have a truck that's set up and capable to make it, you're not going to make it. And you can see the Losi ate it up pretty well. So this little truck has really become one of my favorites. You know, I could easily grab it first out of the truck and go have a ball with it. So for the price, it's really hard to beat. I highly would recommend this truck. I haven't had a single breakage on it. You know, the servo wasn't great out of the box, but other than that, no issues. The stock tires are even pretty good. Like an area like this here, the stock tires did really well. So you could even run on stock tires for a good bit. Overall, awesome little truck. I really thought that I would get this and check it out, do a couple little mods, see what I could do with it, and then just sell it and move on. Because I'm the type that I don't keep a ton of trucks on hand normally. You know, if I'm going to buy one, I sell one. So that's just how I normally do. But with this thing, I'm going to have to hold on to it. I can't let this one go. I just really enjoy it, and it's been an awesome backup. This thing has been used more by other people when their truck broke than it has myself. So, you know, that says something about it. It's the old faithful. So if anybody has any questions on the Losi, definitely hit me up. I appreciate everybody watching. Peace.